Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of the Bonfire Premier Cup. The boys of Bonfire are live at Iowa Speedway for the Suicide Awareness and Prevention 170. Thank you so much to Kyle Lynott for sponsorship of the race today. This is to draw awareness to a major health problem in the United States and in the world. Remember, if you or a friend is having difficulty and issues on this subject, there is help. Call 988 or text for assistance. Here at Iowa, this is the 6th race of our 12-race regular season. 3 wide in the booth today. Mean Gene Money, Smoke and Joe, Johnny Replay, bringing you all the action. Tell you what, last week we were at Darlington. Let's make the track even harder. Now we are at Iowa. Very little banking. Interesting new pavement. Joe, what can NASCAR throw at us next?
I think NASCAR threw a whole new short track package at us, so this will be the first time we're bringing the brand new short track package here to Iowa Speedway this time around. So we'll see what these boys have in store with their tire saving, as well as dealing with the extra horsepower around this track.
Yeah, you know what he's referring to, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Smoke and Joe making reference to the increased horsepower, getting rid of the diffuser on the back. You're going to be tight coming in, loose coming out. 14-degree banking here on the 0.87-mile asphalt oval. And you can see smoke everywhere during practice as drivers trying to figure out how best to get around this thing. Tire wear is going to be at a premium as the boys can make about 54 laps to 58. Interesting how this will draw out if we see those long green flag runs. Last week, they did battle at Darlington, and we saw David Medina Sr. return to his previous form, picking up his first win of the year. Joe Volpus joining him on the podium with his 4th top 5 in 5 races. And Justin Malarkey got his second top 5 with a 3rd place finish. Justin, of course, 1 race less starts than the other competitors, but has battled up to 14th in the points standing, only 9 back of the playoff cut line. Way too soon playoff picture up on the screen now. You can see the only 2-time winner, Nick Mills, also a 2-time champion of the Premier Cup. Up top, Joe Volpus behind him, Jax Duvall having a dream season, looking for his first win. Florida Man Racing captain in 3rd. David Medina Sr. moving up to 4th. Evan Stewart, 1 win and 2 disconnects. Guy was winning by 7 seconds at Vegas, had a podium in his pocket at Darlington. Both disconnects. Hopefully, the internet gods are better to the fish speed driver today. David Owens, full-time once again. You can see him in 6. Jose Medina now driving for the Plus EV team in 7th. Michael Sara, Jake Johnson having great years. Ricky Mandela, perennial playoff driver, 10th. David Buell, Richard Modric rounding out the top 12. Today, expecting to see more fierce action here on the track. Johnny, you got your fingers warmed up. I think on this tiny one, we might see some physical action.
I don't know. If we go based off how we raced at Darlington last week, I feel like these guys might be able to get a long run or 2 in there.
25 drivers last week at Darlington, 25 drivers this week as well. So may the odds for always be in your favor, Johnny, but I think you better do some warm-ups. Tommy Fox out on the track right now, currently 2nd. Tommy, very fast in practice as well. That Gulf Coast driver really looking for that first breakthrough. We've seen him have some rough runs, but I think Tommy's on the cusp of making that breakthrough. It's just going to take good long run for him and a little luck to avoid the incidents. Here's Rick Modric. Joe, this guy ran really fast last couple of weeks. Can't wait to see what he does. And hey, Paul Ferdiani back. Missed last week, but good to see the gambler back out on that track.
Yeah, it's going to be fast hitting here in qualifying. Everybody out there running some laps back to back to back to back. There goes Paul Ferdiani around. 23:05. That's right now 7th out of 7 that have put down a lap time to this point. So he'll look to do something a little bit better maybe in the race. Not going to probably get him the starting spot that he wants.
No, gonna have to figure that out. There's Eric Gambrell, former Pony Up driver. That team, of course, disbanding 3 weeks ago as captain owner Jerry Rose jumped ship to the Fish Speed Group. Been a good move for him with a couple of top 10s and a top 5. Eric Gambrell, though, this guy clearly was the fastest driver in that stable. Going to be a hot item, I think, in free agency going into teams next year. No team points, of course, but anytime you can get a thoroughbred like Gambrell in the Discord with you, that can do nothing but help.
Yeah, we'll see how it really plays out. Of course, being a rookie this season, second season, but still technically a rookie under the format. We'll see how it plays out for him this time around. See Michael Sara out here on track. We've seen him have some really impressive runs here as of late. Decent first lap. We'll see if he's able to go faster on the second.
Yeah, 3 names really stand out to me as far as making huge jumps in talent over the last couple of seasons, and it has to be Jake Johnson and Michael Sara. Both of these guys were always on that cusp of making the playoffs. Really hard competitors in that best of the rest, but this season seems like both of those guys have taken that jump up. Going to be curious to see as that continues to develop. Here's this guy, Mr. Broken Heart right here. Again, 2 disconnects the last couple of weeks. Evan Stewart, fastest in practice. Let's see what he can do here today. 3rd on that first one.
See what he can do on the second lap. Only about half a tenth off Tommy Fox's, who's currently still on the pole position there, Mean Gene. Look at him go.
Yeah, Tommy was fastest in practice. No surprise there to see.
Top of the board.
Ooh. Impressive. Or as my good friend Chet might say, success.
Good qualifying lap there from him. A lot of guys going out on track now. Okay, if the camera would work, we could look at it.
Well, 10 minutes of qualifying makes you wonder, is there a benefit to waiting, or do you jump on it at the very beginning? Here we go. This is 51 right here. Here's Rose. I was really off the pace in practice. We'll see if he can get a little bit more speed out of that Ford.
Yeah, not a good first lap. A second and a half off on that first lap. Second lap around is going to be good enough to move him. Oh, that's a lot better, but not a lot on the speed charts. Only up to 13th right there.
Lucky 13. Y'all like to see that. It's going to put him right in between Jake Johnson and Paul Ferdiani. Here's Johnson, 15th on his first lap. Whipping it around. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see that new surface that they have, little patchwork of Iowa.
That's a good lap.
Ooh, look at the Florida man pumping it up.
Great lap from him. And there's Ricky Mandela going to second on the board. These guys putting in some good laps here.
Yeah, so maybe there was an advantage to wait a little bit longer in the qualifying run. See where they could get. Tommy Fox, of course, the exception, now falls to 3rd, though. And here we can see the number 20, Nick Mills, 2-time winner and 2-time champion out there on the track, trying to move that number 20 around. Nick's also another interesting guy as far as teams go. He would also be a pretty hot free agent if he was to land on a team full time. Right now, though, Nick pretty much a privateer.
Yeah, Nick, of course, he jumps around between the chats pretty much at this point. Tries to get all the info that he can. We do know he's teammates, of course, on Monday nights with Buddy Sully, Tony Iverson, Grant Applegate, those boys. So, when Buddy races on Sundays, usually in the chat with him. But, his normal teammates from, Tuesday and stuff like that, no Kevin Kyle, nothing like that here. So Nick pretty much on his own. Looks like he went ninth on the board there, so good lap from him. And you got your sponsor of the race out there qualifying now there, Mean Gene.
There we go. Kyle Lynott, the Coloradian, powering around that 988 Ford, looking to get a good qualifying effort here. Last year, Kyle did finish third at Iowa. So this is a guy with good speed, good short run and long run speed. Last year, of course, we did see Jason Landry win one of Jason's 10 victories during season number 14 as he powered his way to his fourth Bonfire Premier Cup Championship. No Jason Landry this year. Kyle, this new horsepower package not transferring as nicely as he would like. 19th on his first lap around. Let's see how the gods of qualifying treat him this time. 5th, there we go. So up into the top 5 at the moment. Qualifying is the 988 Kyle Lynott. Here's David Owens. Great to see David running full-time. Again, the Alabama driver with some wins under his belt, running that number 8 Nas. Familiar paint scheme. What do you think, Johnny? You see this guy coming up in your rearview mirror. Does that make you white knuckle a little? Oh, my.
Depends. If he's
speaking of
doing
white
this move right
knuckles.
now, no.
Oh! You see that move right there, me and Gene? That move a couple of years ago in the next-gen car, there would have been some brain matter splattered all over the windshield after doing that.
Wait a minute. I thought we were talking about David Owens.
I'm talking. Do you not see how hard he hit that wall with the rear of the car? You remember what this car used to do?
But I thought we were talking about David Owens.
Oh, okay. All right, settle down.
Naughty. I'm being naughty out there. Love you,
settle
David.
down over there.
Yeah, no. David Owens, definitely a gentleman and a scholar. This is a fella, like all competitors out there, we all have our heated moments, but David always sharing info, trying to make the people around him better. And this is going to wrap up qualifying session. Congratulations to Evan Stewart. Evan Stewart is the winner of the 988 Pole Award. Congratulations, Evan. Before we go racing, we recognize the fastest qualifier as the winner of the 988 Pole Award, presented in support of suicide awareness and prevention. This award is a reminder that awareness, connection, and conversation matter both on and off the track. If you or someone you know needs support, help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988. Thank you, Kyle, for your support and your efforts to bring awareness to this situation. The 988 Pole Award today going to Mr. Evan Stewart. Joining Evan on the front row, gonna be David Medina Sr., last week's winner, gonna fire off from the second place position. Ricky Mandela Sr. gonna start in third, joined on the second row by Tommy Fox. Title sponsor Kyle Lynott on the fifth place position, joined by Rick Modric starting sixth. Jay Johnson going to fire off from the seventh position, and the number 8 of David Owens will start from 8th place. David Brenner going to be ninth, joined on the 5th row by Mark Dumont. Nick Mills starting the number 20 in our 11th place positions. Joe Volpus going to start in 12th. Not indicative of a Joe Volpus start. Michael Sarr going to be in the 13th position, joined on the 7th row by Jose Medina. Take it away, boys.
And 15th, we got Justin Malarkey, followed by David Beal in the 16th spot, Ben Knights in 17th, and Eric Gambro in 18th, Paul Ferdiani in 19th, Jerry Rose 20th, Chris Smith 21st, and then the guys that put down no time, Jack Duval 22nd, Derek Jacobs 23rd, Chris Morrow 24th, Jaden Porter 25th, and Todd Dunn in the 26th spot.
There you go, and I think we got an old message here to get this race rocking and rolling. As always, every week, take it away, Larry Mack.
Good morning, everybody. Larry McReynolds here with NASCAR and Fox. You know, America's crew chief. Welcome to the Bonfire Premier Cup Series. You know the deal. All right, all right, all right. Drivers, start your engines. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go iRacing.
Thank you for your support as always to the series, Larry Mack. Great to see you out here. We're getting ready to rock and roll at Iowa for 170 laps around this racetrack. Remember the new pavement here. You can see that newer, darker pavement on the bottom. Everybody's going to be fighting to get into that here on this first restart. Since it is a short track, we do have good old 2 caution laps here upcoming here for pace lapping wise. So you see David Medina going to line up on the outside. Evan Stewart going to take the inside here, and then on back through the field where everybody's lining up. You know, some of these guys trying their best to get some good points here today. You know, I'm looking right now at the way where some of these guys are starting. Tommy Fox, great qualifying effort from him here today. Going to start there in 4th. I see Jake Johnson going to start in 5th. He's going to be able to make up some good points today if he can run up there like that all day. Rick Modric continues his run of good success. He's going to start up there on the outside in 6th. So those are some of the guys I'm going to look out for here today. Johnny, I know you're probably looking out for the favorites there on that front row, Evan Stewart, David Medina.
Yeah, let's hope Evan Stewart doesn't get any disconnection issues today.
Now, Joe, I hear you say everybody's going to battle everybody. That's not the acronym David Brenner likes. He likes Ellie, not Ebby.
Yeah, well,
it's everyone love everybody.
Yeah, in this case, though, everyone wants to get into that black new pavement, get to the bottom as fast as possible.
It's such a tough line here. You know, it's that preferred line. Passing is difficult. If the guy's on the outside of you, he will pinch you. You will not get exit speed. Now, granted, the guy on the outside might be burning up tires a little bit more, but you ain't going anywhere in a hurry if you're the guy trapped on the bottom. Now, if you're the guy on the outside, you're just going to burn that rubber trying to hold position. So you're right. I think the restart is definitely an opportunity to make a good move to improve your position, as will be green flag pit stops if we see them. Pace car out of the way. Keep an eye. Front row waiting for the flag. Flag drops. Great start there by David Medina on the outside. Looks like he actually going to win that race into turn number 1. Great start by the number 9, won at Darlington, and he's going to lead him down the backstretch here at Iowa.
Yeah, you can see that, though. Evan Stewart going to fight back. What happened there, I think, is Evan Stewart mistimed it with the green flag coming out. Remember, initial start goes on the flagman. Evan Stewart got caught off guard, I think, by when the flag was thrown by the flagman. And David Medina was ready, able to lead the first lap. Gives the lead back over, though, to Evan Stewart here on lap number 2. So Evan Stewart, the pole sitter, takes control of the race once again.
Points are awarded for leading a lap, so you know David Medina got to be happy about getting that out of the way quickly. Meanwhile, single file until you get back there to Nick Mills. Nick Mills taking a peek under the blue number 8 of David Owens. Owens is that car on the outside. You can see still on the new paved surface, so he's getting that exit speed. Needs to get by, and looks like does clear Jake Johnson. And now it's Nick Mills to be outside of Jake Johnson. Also on the outside, you can see our French-Canadian friend, Marc Dumont. Now he's going to make a move down. He's in front of Johnson. Sarah as well. Woo, little bit of contact. Back up the track. The 14 of Dumont trying to keep it rolling. That was a harrowing experience.
Marc Dumont's going to have a lot of damage there to the left front. You're going to see here as he comes down in 3. It's not turning. Mean Gene, that car's not turning. I think it's toast.
Sacre bleu.
Oh,
I can hear him.
off.
I can hear the radio. He's
the pit barrels. No. Yeah, that's
Wow.
really the end of it.
That very unfortunate. Marc Dumont, you could see. I'm not sure, Johnny. Maybe you could get a look at that. If it's a racing incident, if he started to come down a little soon. I mean, this is a short track, 0.875 mile. It's very difficult to hold a line and make the turn from the second or worse, the third row on this track. And I think maybe Dumont just came down a little bit early, got caught up with Nick Mills. Nick Mills still now dealing with David Owens. Owens back on that outside, but no caution as we're still under green here on lap number 6.
So it looks like he gave him a tap right there as he was coming down, and then another tap onto Jake Johnson, and that's what happened. I don't think anything. That's just a racing incident.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Just
What's happening?
great exit speed there by Dumont. Oh, right back.
That's a big hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
there it is.
Oh,
Hey,
Defender's
Mean
gone.
Gene, that tire's not turning.
no, usually round things do go in a circle, but this ain't a bus, and those tires are not going round and round.
They are not. And yeah,
Up
just
front,
can't get a
Evan
turn.
Stewart.
Yeah, that's that.
Up front, Aaron Stewart still with that lead over David Medina. You can see Tommy Fox still in a podium position, up one from his starting grid spot, up fourth. Rick Modric, David Brenner rounding out the top five. Good single file battling, and now begins the battle of attrition. How long can I make my tires last before I start to experience that fall off? As we said, these drivers can make about 54, 58 laps under green flag conditions. So I'm not going to do the math, but Johnny, what do you think? If we just go green and this is a 170 lap race, 50 is 100 is 150. There's still some extra laps out there. We might see a little splash and go at the end if this thing stays green.
I mean, let's hope it stays green. Yeah.
Look at you. No, we're going to put you to work. We're going to get you, we're going to make you roll it back manually. Here's Eric Gambrell, Justin Malarkey. They're thinking about making Johnny Replay do a little bit of work. Gambrell is a very fast driver, but also takes risks. Oh, Malarkey, he's out on the no man's land, finally does pick up. But boy, Joe, that was a clear example of you need to be on that new pavement.
Yeah, exactly. That was a good time for that blimp cam to pop up there too. Just to show the difference between the shading and the track, right? And just see how much it affects somebody. You can see up here, Jake Johnson though, doing a good job. Look at his battle. He's trying to hold on to this position over David Owens. Jake Johnson showing some early good pace here, it looks like. Running in the top 10 and holding off David Owens, who's, somebody who's notoriously fast here.
I have a question. Why is Kyle Lanai in 22nd, 17 places back? Did something happen to him at the beginning of the race?
That's a good question. I wonder if maybe he missed the start.
Very curious.
That's the first thing that comes to mind, is maybe he missed the start.
It had to be, because he started in 5th. He was not part of the Dumont situation, so I would not be surprised. Other cars having a little bit of difficulty toward the back. You can see Chris Smith, Paul Ferdiani both dropping down a few laps from their starting position, so track not being kind to them. Here's a battle. Justin Malarkey, David Buell having a good time. Malarkey finally, gets back down on that newer paved surface. That's really where you want to be coming out of the turns as well. So David Buell is in 16th. You can see Ben Knights behind him. Didn't we come up with a good nickname for Ben? Was that Johnny got one?
I do not remember.
You don't remember?
But I found out what
Ben-
happened to Lanai. He started at the pits.
There you go.
You don't remember you called him Ben Boogie Knights?
Me use the word boogie?
Yeah.
I think that's.
You're also now you're going to pretend you didn't give Eric Gambrell the nickname Menace.
I mean, I threw the term out,
Mhm.
and someone else coined his nickname. So.
Johnny started printing shirts immediately. They're bootleg shirts too, because Eric ain't getting none of those proceeds. So green flag racing here on lap number 18. Good stuff going on as we see these boys doing battle. Johnny, I think you might be a fortune teller. You talked about green flags at Darlington last week. We put them on a tighter track with less banking, and here we go. Still seeing some great green flag racing. Right now you can see that camera's on the 22 of David Brenner, currently in the 5th place. Got Animal House captain Ricky Mandela behind him. Ricky down 3 spots, but Brenner has moved up 4. Oh my! Up front, Chris Smith almost into the way of David Medina Sr. So that 37 Louisiana Ford of Smith having a great deal of difficulty. This track is not nice. I mean, it is not nice. If you come in hot, you're going to burn that right front up, and then suddenly the car simply will not turn. And I wonder if Chris is having to deal with some of those issues right now.
I think he's just trying to troop out another race here, trying to make sure he keeps his start count going well. You know how it is. You got to make sure you make the races in order to be eligible for stuff. So I think Chris is just out there trooping this one out. Probably not on his normal setup, maybe on the controller, and just trying to troop it out here today. Because he's usually somebody that's well on the pace. Either that or he's got a lot of damage, because he should be running a lot better than what he is currently.
So 37 doing what he can to make things happen. Fastest mover on the track, though, has got to be the number 5 of Chris Smorrell in the 14th, but he's up 10 spots. You can see him giving chase right here to Eric Gambrell. So Smorrell making it happen right now here on lap number 23. Smorrell, of course, another one of the Team Fokum / Fokum adjacent drivers. So good to see David Medina Sr. getting that support, as Malarkey has been making the races, and now Smorrell as well. So Team Fokum, big powerhouse just a few seasons ago. Luckily, still has 3 amazing drivers in that stable, but not quite as large of a discord. Of course, notable absences would be Kevin Kyle and Brandon Shelton, but Brandon, as a Leo, we of course support him and hope he's having a wonderful Sunday.
Well, here you go. That lead's starting to shrink a little bit. You can see David Medina starting to get a little bit closer to Evan Stewart here as the run progresses. We saw how good David Medina was last week on the long run. It looks like he's showing off some of that pace here once again today.
Yeah, David Medina, he kind of jumped on board a little bit with that Fish Speed Discord, got a little bit of assistance. Also saw him in that Discord this week as well. So if you're Jordan Fisher, Fisher is crew chief running the pits for his team today. It's kind of a bitter pill. You want to see the guys you coach do well, but he's chasing down the top dog in the stable, Evan Stewart, right now. So I imagine Jordan with conflicting emotions to see the success of Medina and know that he did have a piece of the pie that puts together the run of David Medina. Tommy Fox still having a heck of a great day. That number 57 still in the camera, just hitting his marks and putting it down. And I mean, Joe, that's what it takes to be successful here. You know, you say let's all go racing, but you're racing the track here. And Tommy Fox just putting on a display. This could be the day. Fingers crossed that we see Tommy get the result he deserves. He's one of the most favorite drivers, one of the more popular drivers here on the series. But with no fast repairs, all it takes is one bad piece of luck, and it'll take you right out. Tommy right now, though, still in that podium spot, up 1 from his starting position. Behind him, Rick Modric and Ricky Mandela Sr. rounding out the top 5. So really settling in. I'm trying to look around for some battles out there on the track.
There you go.
Looks like most people are pretty settled in. It looks like Malarkey and Jaden Porter might be getting close to each other periodically.
Well, Joe Volpus
Mills
just passed
would love.
Nick Mills for 7th.
There we go. Quiet day for Joe Volpus so far. Didn't see him in the front, perhaps using a different strategy. You know, we talked about fuel and how there was a possible splash and go involved, but you know, Joe is one of those guys that can do the math and figure out exactly what it takes. You're on the throttle 70% coming out of the turn. That guy might be at the throttle 65%. You're 100% down that straightaway. He might be 98%. You're dropping it down into 4th gear every time and running it in 4th on that back stretch, trying to roll into turn 3 and 4. Joe might be going up to 5th. Hell, Joe might keep it in 5th a couple of laps just to get enough fuel to drop a pit stop. And that's the kind of driver he is. So seeing him back here in 7th, started in 12th, still good forward progress. But if fuel becomes an issue, that's one of the guys you got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's always using a different strategy than everybody else. So I wonder what he's going to do at the end, knowing that David Medina had such a great race towards the end last week. He's going to try pull something to avoid Medina doing something like that this week.
Yeah, speaking of David Medina, the battle is tightening up front. You can see Medina closing in on the tail of Evan Stewart. These guys are running very similar lines, not just because this is a one lane track, but also because of the coaching that they both received. Evan Stewart does run a little bit different of an entry. They're not exactly diamonding the turn, but you can see late apex more so for Medina, trying to find that exit speed. This battle looking really fun up front. Meanwhile, behind them, Tommy Fox also running the 24.19 speed. He is 0.7 of a second back, but running the same speeds, not having the fall off, bigger drop back to Modric. And then Ricky Mandela, now he's having a big time. David Brenner has closed the gap. You can see Volpus slowly coming into the picture. That's the 33 of Paul Ferdiani putting in the work, going down a lap on the outside. That's that white number 33.
Yeah, you can see this Mandela struggling a little bit here on the older tires here at this point in the run. His lap times, though, are starting to settle back in with everybody else. Right now, everybody pretty much running anywhere from a 23.9 to a 24.2. Don't really see anybody up front that's really too far off that pace. So it's just kind of going back and forth every lap. You can see even that last time around, David Medina ran a 23.9 and now a 24.01 that time. And yeah, look at that. Look who the fastest car was on the track that last lap there. Mean Gene, it was Ricky Mandela.
Yeah, so really a rhythm track. Oh, little contact. David Medina gets right into the rear of Evan Stewart. So things spicing up a little bit. It is hard to pass. So bump and runs are on the table for these guys to make their way around. Johnny, you might want to look back and see if you could get a picture of that. That was just a little how do you do, little wave. You could see the four fingers come up off the steering wheel of David Medina, letting Stewart know that he was in the picture. Medina just really seems to have a little bit better on that exit speed right now. It's like he's coming in a little bit wider and really able to get on the throttle a little bit sooner.
Yeah, right now that does seem to be the case, but Medina's having a little trouble finding where to pass him, right? So right now these two just staying stagnant with each other. There's a battle going on for 6th a little further back, talking about Joe Volpus being quiet. Well, now he's starting to make moves, trying to get around David Brenner here for 6th. David Medina is now side by side with Evan Stewart for the lead.
Yeah, that battle up front, amazing. Last week we saw David Medina return to form. And now this week, Evan Stewart, no connectivity issues, knock on wood. I'm not jinxing him, no broadcaster jinx. But look at the speed falling off. Last lap, you could see 0.2 of a second faster. That time, a full half second faster was David Medina than Evan Stewart. So Stewart having a little bit more tire drop off here on lap number 42. These guys could go another 16 if they're pushing the gas run. So going to be fascinating to see. Well, I mean, last week, Medina's fall off was negligible, Joe. Oh, I want to see this replay.
Right there, just, ooh, a little shake from the Stewart from that contact, but yeah, that was really close.
Good time. And the way Medina's been entering the turns, Joe, he's been coming in high and then really powering out of the turn. So I wonder, the way that he entered that was not indicative of the way David Medina had been turning laps the previous 15, 20 laps, nor what he's doing now. So really interesting that he chose to come in at that angle. Maybe it was just a little message.
That's what it looked like. Just a little tappy poo.
Let
right
him
there.
know, like, hey, bud, I got more tires than you, and so it's time for me to go. Last week, the breakdown, the tire wear of Medina was just negligible, Joe. I mean, he ran his fastest lap after he put like 12 laps on those tires. So Medina's found something in that long run. So we're just watching him now. You can see Stewart still staying in the picture, but Medina with that wonderful exit speed here at Iowa today, lap number 46. You are watching the Suicide Awareness and Prevention 170 live here at Iowa Speedway. This is, of course, broadcast on the Vortex Racing Network. 3 wide into the booth, Mean Gene Money, Smokin' Joe, Johnny Replay, bringing you all this action. If you like what you're seeing, and I know you do because you're watching it right now, make sure you are subscribed to the network. We carry 4 different racing series. We bring you action 4 nights a week. You're going to want to be part of all the fun. How do you keep track? Make sure you're subscribed, and let's bump us up that algorithm, baby. Let's get a little bit of love and support. Hit that like, hit that share, get your friends involved as well. Great way to spend a Sunday afternoon before the boys of NASCAR do battle. And yeah, not a lot better way that you can handle it. Meanwhile, speaking of handling it, look at Eric Gambrell trying to handle Jake Johnson, peeking around the outside, makes the move. Wow, Joe, that was a big boy move.
Gets his way into the top 10 with that move, as well as Nick Mills gets the wall. Big contact with the wall for Nick Mills. That may cause some trouble with that car, and the 46 gets him up too.
Eric says, "You know what? You look weak. You look vulnerable. Let me just make it worse." And now Nick Mills definitely, after 2 wall contacts and 1 menace contact, appears to be just slightly off the pace. Let's see what happens. Oh, looks like a 3rd wall contact was about to go down. Up front, you can see.
For you guys.
Oh, got some. It's
Yeah,
Christmas morning.
This is before Medina overtook Evan Stewart for first. Where you're talking about like the different lines he takes to enter. It looks like Evan Stewart starts following Todd Dunn's line, hits the wall. That brings up Medina right next to him, and then it was a game of chicken. It felt like.
Oh.
And Evan Stewart was the one that lost that game.
Wow. Well, I mean, Medina had open air in front of him, and Evan Stewart had an outside wall in front of him. No, that was no bueno. Meanwhile, speaking of, I said he was having a quiet race. All of a sudden, Joe Volpus has moved into 3rd, sneaking on by Tommy Fox. Tommy's last lap's a little bit off the pace. You got to wonder if that number 57 starting to suffer some tire wear as he is under attack now by Rick Modric and Ricky Mandela Sr. You know, Ricky Mandela, he is 3 spots down from his starting position, but there's still a lot of juice in that Ford. He as well going to make his way around the 57 of Tommy Fox. You know, Tommy's ready to put some new Goodyears on that bad boy.
Yeah, he just fell from 3rd to 6th of the span of 2-3 laps right there. So now he's going to need to try and turn it back around as fast as possible. Can't give up any more track position. But right now I'm seeing who's going to pit first. And Chris Morrill is going to pit very early here. Completion of lap 53, start of 54. That's not going to be in the window to make it on one more stop to the end. So he will need some caution help, or he's going to have to pit an extra time.
Those are decisions you need to make quickly. You can't lollygag and the 5 deciding, I'm going to come in, I'm going to short pit the other drivers. Let's get fresher tires on the rotation. They'll have to sneak around me. Tommy Fox making the call. I hear on the radio he is calling to come into the pit. And here's Evan Stewart. Stewart bringing it in. So the 34, the first of the big guns to make that call, going to happen here on lap number 55.
Here comes Tommy Fox as well. Like you said, Jerry Rose looks like he's going to come down pit road here as well. I see Nick Mills bouncing off walls and stuff. He's not having a good time. I don't think that's going to spell good stuff for his race based on what's going on. David Medina, he comes down pit road this time. Looks like he's followed down by Modric, Mandela, Brenner. I see Gambrell trying to come pit here. Look at everybody coming down here to pit this time around. Looks like everybody else staying out, so Vulpes takes over the race lead. Oh, I think...
No surprise. If somebody was going to do something with fuel and make it last, it would be Vulpes. Vulpes does pick up the lap, let a lap. Oh, he almost got those barrels. You see that?
He did get a speeding penalty is what I'm hearing, though. That was way too fast on entry. I'm also hearing Tommy Fox got a speeding penalty as well. So some speeding penalties going out here to some of the guys that were running up front. So Tommy Fox was in the top 3. Of course, Vulpes was up there as well. Those two both with speeding penalties here. Also heard that Jax Duval missed the pits the first time around and had to get it a second time. And here comes Jose Medina, your race leader, and he's going to miss pit road too.
Wow, it happened so quickly here at Iowa. Now Medina dropping the hammer, gonna make an entry rejoin. Oh, whoa, okay. Now that was your, that was Evan Stewart. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, he did all he could right there. Just rejoined on the bottom lane of the track. He didn't come across the track or anything. So. Yeah, not really able to hold the bottom.
There we go.
That. Yeah, make sure he's kind of coming a little hot again. That's kind of a little scary. So I know we have Duval's miss of pits here.
Right there. Just barely missed the barrels.
That could have been really bad.
All right, so Jose Medina is now finally making his way into the tire. God, poor Jax. They both got it, didn't they? So Jose Medina getting some fresh tires on the car is going to turn the lead back over to David Medina and Evan Stewart right on his tailpipe. These two guys, Stewart came down 1 lap before Medina, but David able to get back on the track, keep the lead position, and Evan Stewart still trying to play catch up behind them. They are the class of the field. Rick Modric in third is about 5 seconds back. And then Ricky Mandela about 8. Mandela's got David Brenner inches away from him. Eric Gambrell in 6th. David Owen 7. Chris Morrill, who started the pit parade, is in 8th. Michael Sara chasing down. You can see the green 27 there, really rolling it well, currently in the 9th position. And then Justin Malarkey going to round out your top 10. So pit cycles are through. Everybody now has that first fresh tank of fuel and 4 freshies as we are still under green here on lap number 62.
I think Joe Vulpes is a little bit angry because he just ran the fastest lap of the race that last time around by a full 10th over the next best lap. So he's right now 19th, a lap down. Looking at the other guys that got speeding penalties and had trouble on pit road. David Buell had some serious issues getting into his pit box and getting slowed up and everything. He's also way back here in 17th currently, so not where he wants to be right now in the running order. He's a lap down. We see Ben Knights. He had a bad pit stop, it looks like, as well. A little bit slow time on the pit road. He's a lap down in 18th. Just touched on Vulpes. Todd Dunn's just out there running those laps. I think he's got some damage to that car. So a little bit off the pace for him. Tommy Fox, we talked about him getting speeding on pit road as well. He's right now 21st. And the really bad thing about his situation is he's currently shown 2 laps down. So he needs a lot of help to get back into this one.
Yeah, and you can see now there's only 14 cars on the lead lap. That green flag pit stop's so powerful as to how it affects your position. Look at this. David Medina had a 15.03. Evan Stewart 14.73. And then as you look down the drivers, you can see some 15s. You get down to somebody like Jake Johnson with a 17. Get down to somebody like Lynott with an 18.6. Now, look at Rose, 14.17. That's lightning fast, but pit lap time, 50.96. That's 3 seconds slower than David Medina. So even though still on the lead lap, they got to figure out a way to get in and out of the pit a little bit quicker. You cannot afford to lose 3 seconds on every green flag pit stop.
No, you cannot. And, you know, that's also something that you got to look into as well, is where are you losing that time on pit road? Are you losing it trying to stop in your pit stall? Are you losing it on the little stuff like like having certain things checked on or off. Where are you losing that time? Is it pit entry, pit exit? You're not accelerating enough. You're not braking enough. You know, we saw what happens if you try and find a little bit too much time. You know, Tommy Fox, Joe Volpes can tell you about that. But, you know, these guys need to figure out just where to find that little bit of time, because that could be the difference between being the leader or being in second or third. And you can see Medina, even though his pit time, you know, you said it was a little bit slower than Stewart's, he was almost a second faster than Stewart on pit road entry and exit.
Yeah. So something about the way he comes in and out just makes great time. You know, that camera you had on those two soon-to-be lap cars right ahead of Medina, if this was 2 or 3 seasons ago, you'd need to be ready for a replay.
I mean, you never know. You might still need to be ready for a replay. I mean,
those two had 4 fun incidents at least.
I mean, look at him. He's creeping up on him. Watch out. He's creeping. I know Jerry's looking forward to getting his new paint scheme once Joe Volpes decides that he needs to. Once he remembers that he has to do it, he'll have a new paint scheme.
Joe Volpes too busy winning races right now to worry about that. Speaking of winning races, David Medina's got that lead up to 8/10. Okay, here we go. This is the
here we go. He's sneaking up he's sliding up a little. Watch out.
So don't slip him. Pinch though. That's that pinch though. Did you see how he pinches Lynott and makes it difficult for exit?
Watch out. Don't pinch him too much, or you know what happens. That left rear starts looking real savory real quick.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, he's got to
let him go. He's got to let him go, man. You're going to get wrecked if you keep doing this.
Here we go. All right. He's in the safe zone now. Look at how far alongside he is. That's safe. That's safety. Now, just let him clear. Oh, boy. Oh, okay. There we go.
Okay, it's over. You're safe, John. Johnny had his finger ready. He was poised.
Had a couple seconds back just in case.
Love it. I love it. All right, so those two, though, while they were fiddling around running their 24 flats, behind them, David Medina is running 23.6s. So he is creeping up on the back of the pack. Only 14 cars currently being shown on the lead lap. We were watching Kyle Lynott in the 988, Jerry Rose in the 51. Those are the last 2 cars on the lead lap. So they really need to get moving, or else they could find themselves under attack, and will with the speed of David Medina. No doubt in my mind that number 9 is going to lap a few more cars before this day is over. Behind them, Evan Stewart still running strong, but now about a full second behind.
Oh, way off here.
Yeah, that pace is not working out for him. Look at him now, though. He's doing that wider entry, not getting down to the apron quite as much as Medina, but I think Stewart definitely changing his line a little bit based on the success that he has seen David Medina have. And Medina really able to put less wheel input and get on the throttle quicker by doing that. It's not a full diamond, but it definitely is not rolling the bottom. That rolling the bottom technique, saving tires, definitely indicative of a fish speed driver. And you can see Medina putting his own little variation on that. And now looks like Evan Stewart also trying to pick that up. 4 seconds behind Evan Stewart is Rick Modric, the number 71 Chevrolet. This is a guy looking for playoff hopeful this season. And he is just a few seconds behind those boys, but great season so far. Rick Modric finding himself tied for 12th in the playoff picture with Jerry Rose with one less start. So Modric is the second highest point accumulator with only 4 starts. David Owens, of course, being the top points guy. But good season here by Rick Modric, continuing to accumulate those points and push himself towards the playoffs. And then behind Rick Modric, you can see Ricky Mandela still in the top 5. Ricky has fallen about 4 seconds back of Modric, so he needs to get back on the wheel because he's got Brenner inches behind him. And then a fun time with Eric Gambrell also closing the gap. Last lap, Gambrell with that 23.94 is making up about a tenth of a second over everybody except for Medina in front of him.
Yeah, David Medina once again showing the speed that he has on long runs today. Right now, just trying to cruise away with it. You know, he did a great job on the pit stop, didn't make any mistakes. So that's half the battle in this kind of style race here, where it's all green all the way here pretty much. We're pretty much, coming up on halfway here, and we still haven't had a caution today here at Iowa. This track not notoriously known for a lot of cautions, and we're just seeing that again here today with the way everybody's been racing each other. So David Medina, this is the kind of race that falls in his favor usually, one with a lot of long green flag runs.
Yeah, he's just looking good. Something has clicked for him. You know, David, of course, Medina had to step out briefly last year. He got a new house, made the move, had to drop out of the playoff picture. And when he came back, things just weren't clicking the way we'd seen the number 9 run in the past. But here over the last couple of weeks, we've seen him get back on the ball, get back on the horse. Last week with that dominating win at Darlington, just those impressive long runs. And once again, the 9 showing that he has just got something figured out, Joe. There's just something about the long run. This guy is smooth. His wheel input, second to none of any of the drivers on the track. Does have his own line that he is making, and we can see that slowly spreading to the other drivers. But that line is nothing but smooth and fast. Finally coming up on lap driver, you can see the 51 coming into the picture. Last lap, the 51 ran a 24.08. Medina ran a 24.2. That time, a 23.9 by Medina versus a 24.35 by the 51. So that gap, it's happening. Cue the Jaws music now, because you're going to need a bigger boat.
I was going to say that last time around for Jerry Rose was not a good lap time. It was actually one of the slowest on the track. So he's given up a little bit more time than he wanted to. Able to reverse it on that lap though, 24.08 compared to a 24.21. So able to get a 10th back at least. Maybe he'll be able to hold on. He's going to need a caution here very soon though. We got Brenner's starting to close back in on me.
Oh, Stewart with heavy contact into Ferdiani. Wow.
Looks like they
You
might
might want to check out those 2 laps. Yeah. Ooh. I'm sorry to cut you off, Joe. Yeah.
So,
I thought it was going to be a wreck.
That settles that one. So right now, I was going to say Brenner's was closing back in on Mandela, but that now is no longer the case. The next battle I'm really paying attention to is this battle for the Lucky Dog is one that's going on, right? So Jax Duvall currently has it over Jaden Porter by about half a second. However, this is all going to change if Jerry Rose can't stay on the lead lap. We can see right here that 9 car is getting very close. So Duvall right now still in the Lucky Dog spot, but if Rose can't stay on the lead lap here, and if we don't have a caution here in the next couple laps, then right now Duvall's going to lose that Lucky Dog spot.
Yeah, and then in front of Rose, you can see Kyle Lynott. He's pushed that to about a 2-second lead. So Duvall wanting a caution now to be the Lucky Dog recipient, but he also needs the 51 and the 988 to drive a little bit faster. Johnny, did you happen to find the Ferdiani and Stewart fun?
Give me 2 more seconds.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know how long that developed, but that sure had a coup de grace there at the end. Oh boy. Yeah,
Okay,
they're counting them off. We're on lap number 91 here.
So this was the turn before. They're right next to each other. No space in between. Barely fit a piece of paper, right? And
Yeah.
then when they come up to the next turn, bam, huge hit.
Yeah. So I think if you go back and look at that first turn, Stewart probably thinking that he should have just let him go by clean.
Yeah, because he stayed unusually high.
Yeah, that's that angle, though. That's that Medina angle. Speaking of the Medina angle, the angle is to put the 51 a lap down. You can see he made quick work of Rose. who now goes down to 13 cars on the lead lap for David Medina as he continues to just put it on the field. Stewart 2.85 seconds back in the second place position. So David Medina just flexing on everybody. Last week at Darlington, he made it look easy. This week, he's making it look just the same.
Oh,
The
Owens.
30. David Owens having issues.
Caution.
David Owens, that is...
Oh, Mean
Rising.
Gene, you know what it's time for?
I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Let's push some buttons. Because you know what that means, boys and girls. The Demolition Derby has begun. It took him a long time to get here. But we have finally made it.
I'm gonna come.
Yes, the Derby has come here. To the Bonfire Premier Cup. Lap number 95. We finally get that first what a run. What a run by these guys to make it to lap 95 before we see the caution come out.
Uh-oh.
Looks like
we
David
got
Owens.
We got some pit car problems here. Pace car issues. David Medina misses the pace car here, and now is going to miss pitting on the first attempt. Everybody else is going to be able to come down on the first lap. So David Medina just lost all of his track position.
That is no good. Pace car came out late. Medina rolling around the track a little bit hot. Stewart ain't crying, though, as he is going to roll in there first, probably. We'll have to see. I'm sure everybody wanting 4 fresh tires. They could see right sides going on the 34. Waiting now to see if the left side of the car, of course it does, as he is going to take 4 freshies and fuel here on lap number 96 and does make his way out of the pit in front of Modric there,
All right,
who will take
for you.
over second once David Medina pit. So David's still rolling out there.
Was coming out of 2 and just loses it a bit, and just the whole backstretch.
Oh,
Is that Malarkey?
That's Malarkey, yeah.
Oh no, the 73 of Malarkey into Owens. Nothing anybody could have done right there. It's bang bang. David trying his best, and he can't get back down.
it's unfortunate. All right, so we're going to
Yeah,
have some
yeah.
interesting strategeries going on here. So like we said, Evan Stewart on through Jose Medina there, 1st through 9th, are on the 1 strat. Then you got David Medina, who just gave up all that track position, falls to 10th. David Owens looks like he's going to be on the lead lap with damage. Jerry Rose got the lucky dog. Malarkey was fixing some damage here as well. He's on the lead lap. And then you got your wave arounds here. So I see Tommy Fox going to get to 1 lap down. David Buell going to get back on the lead lap. And Joe Volpes also going to get back on the lead lap here under this caution.
Ooh, so those guys are going to have about 38 lap older tires, and they probably only got about 20 laps of fuel left in those hot rods. So they're going to need a little bit of help, but you got to swing for the fences, in my opinion, right now. You don't want to find yourself a lap down. It's so hard to pass. It's impossible to get back your lap the old-fashioned way. So you got to take a shot, and that's exactly what we're seeing by these 2 guys, Buell and Volpes here, by staying out. Looks like Lynotte's going to come down there.
Yeah, I think they'll be
That
able
was
to make it
brutal.
on 1 stop there as well, Mean Gene. So the only thing they're going to lose is a lot of track time here. Yeah, they really would love a quick caution to be on the same strategy as everybody else.
Pace car out of the way. Keep an eye on Evan Stewart on the front row with Modric. Away we go. The 34.
Oh!
Outside lane doesn't go. Brenner didn't find the gas pedal. Backs him up. Smorrell, Jake Johnson. Looks like Ben Boogie Knights also having trouble. Now 3 wide with the 74 and the 22. Finally, Brenner gets it rolling. Woo! Didn't want to spin the tires, but he did.
That could have been really disastrous right there. Right on the restart, too. That would have been a really bad time for everybody. This has helped out David Medina some. It's helped him get back up to 7th, but still a lot of work to do. And 2.7 seconds to make up, and a bunch of guys to pass, all with some good speed on up through the field. So Evan Stewart gets away. Now look who's climbed up to 3rd here, though, Mean Gene.
Yeah, we talked about Gambrel earlier. He was one of the fastest cars there in the middle of that run. If he could find some of that speed early in the run, you might see a big stuff out of that number 46 Chevrolet, up 15 spots into that podium position. Right behind him, looky, Michael Sara, that 27, making his way into the top 5 as well. Sara just continuing to have a dream season as this driver has gotten faster every season. And now here he is battling for a top 5 here late in the race at Iowa. Ricky Mandela still up there in the top 5. David Medina, as you said, but David Medina battling with Jose. Jose was off the pace briefly. Now Jose trying to get back up to speed, but he's right in between a David Brenner and a David Medina. Those are a couple of hard guys to pass, especially on a narrow track like Iowa.
Yeah, looks like David's finally cleared him here, though. Rick Modric, a couple laps ago, ran the fastest lap of the race. I thought he might have been closing in on Evan Stewart, but it looks like he's not able to really get anything going. Just had one really great lap right there. Was able to hot lap it, but I thought he might have had something to close in on Evan, but it looks like he's stagnated here at about 8/10. But Gambrel is starting to close in, at least on Modric.
Yeah, Eric really getting into his pace right now. We didn't see him put in the work in practice, so I would imagine he's gaining a lot of experience during the course of the race, and that work coming to fruition here on lap number 105. He's going to take a peek below Modric.
This would be a big move if he's able to get second. Gets it done. It looks like he's faster than Evan Stewart, even with that pass, 3/10 faster that last time around than Evan Stewart. So I don't know what's going on here, but Eric Gambrel may be showing some more speed here as the sun starts to set.
Fastest car on the track, Gambrel. Yeah, we're making that transition into night, and it is definitely working out in Gambrel's favor. Currently finds himself 0.3 of a second behind Stewart. And we saw Stewart fade both of these last runs. So if Evan cannot figure out the long run ability of his Ford, you might see Gambrel take a shot. Gambrel very fast in the middle and end of these green flag runs. Joe, if this guy finds the beginning short run speed as well, he could be a tough pass, especially considering the misfortune that we saw go down to drivers like Joe Volpus and David Medina. Oh, he's on that wall, peeking.
Yeah, here we go. He's actually going to use the outside. We haven't really seen much of this here today, Minji, in that middle lane. Oh, contact with the 34. 34 tried to slide up. 46 wasn't having any of it. Gambrel clears for the lead.
Incredible move. Eric Gambrel gonna take over the lead for the first time today here on lap number 109. Gambrel coming into turn number 3 in the lead. Looks like he is going to lead his first lap here today. Eric Gambrel, new race leader here on lap number 109 at Iowa. Evan Stewart still very close in the picture. And behind them, Rick Modric rounding off your podium. Still got 15 drivers here on the lead lap. Behind them, it looks like Porter and Jax Duvall separated by 1/10 of a second, trying to figure out that lucky dog candidate.
Yeah, right now 15 cars being shown on the lead lap, but the bigger concern is the guys that stayed out on the wave around right now are starting to run out of fuel, but also their tires are way worse than everybody else. These guys are consistently 6, 7, 8/10 slower per lap right now. David Buell is struggling hard with his times. Last time around was a 24:46. He was the slowest car on the racetrack that last time around by about 3/10 of a second to the other guys that are battling on old tires. David Owens battling with damage. Vulpes battling on old tires, Malarkey battling with damage. So
Now, Joe, you're talking about the tires. So if they are forced to come down, you got to take tires, right? You can't just put fuel and pray.
Oh yeah, they're all gonna come pit for tires, so they're gonna see if they can maybe flip it back into their advantage. But I think they lost too much time for that to happen, to where they could flip it back into their favor here. I think that what they're gonna really need is a caution, probably right about now before they have to pit, to get everybody back on the same strategy.
David Buell can't wait.
Yeah, he was just way off the pace. I think he might have been. That right front might have been soft by the time he pit right there, so I don't think it was a fuel issue. I think it was a tire issue there for the 52.
Not a surprise. This new horsepower package really putting a lot of strain and temperature into that front right tire. Action on the track. You can see a little two-wide battle going on right there. Jake Johnson with Chris Smorl in that number 5. These two battling. Where are they? There we go. 9th and 10th. Oh my God.
I didn't know what.
I forgot how to read.
I didn't know what you were referring to. I'm like, I see them right there. What's going on?
Numbers are hard, Joe.
Yeah,
Numbers are hard.
I know it's hard to count from 1 to
1 to 9.
Yeah, it's hard to count from 1 to 9 when you only have 4 fingers on each hand.
Meanwhile, look at Smorl battling with Medina now. Jose, we've seen Jose go up and down a little bit. Had a problem at the beginning of the run. I think he was caught up on that outside lane spin start by David Brenner. And now Jose did get back up to speed, but Smorl having a great day here. Moves himself up into the 8th position right ahead of Jose Medina. Jose not going to give it up easy, though. Medina, a fierce competitor, part of that Plus EV garage, still finds himself in that
Plus
9th
EV
position.
Racing. I'll help you out there, me and Gene. Plus EV Racing.
I don't know. Racing paints, so
yeah,
lids.
I mean, this is the racing. So here you go.
Paul does everything. Paul does everything.
Speaking of racing, here comes actually 2 guys down the pit. So Vulpes and Fox. So all 3 of the wave rounds have now pitted here at this point.
Now, will they have enough fuel to make it to the end? I mean,
well, right now we're on lap 118.
Is that what we're looking at?
So was there 52 to go? So plenty of fuel.
Yeah, they should be good.
To the end. It's just going to be depending on how much time they're going to lose after this pit stop cycle, because remember they're going to be on new tires now, but once everybody comes out of the pits, it's going to be what happened on the after everybody makes their last pit stop, right, Mean Gene? It's going to be what we just saw in that restart all over again, where they're just half a second to a second off the pace per lap.
Yeah, you want to have fresh tires as you can, as that right front will go soft if you blink.
That lucky dog spot. I know you've been a fan of this battle here. Here we go. They're side by side. Jaden Porter almost ends up in the gray. That's going to give Duval a run up the inside. Right now, these two battling. Now it's a battle for 14th with the pit stops in front of them. So 13 cars now on the lead lap. Owens and Malarkey are falling off time. As you can see, that got close.
And behind them, Kyle Lynott, he's also thinking about a lucky dog. So the 988, the 3rd car on your screen, those 3 guys would love to get into a position if there was a caution that they could get back on the lead lap. And poor Duval, he was inches away from getting up with Rose before David Medina put him down back on that first caution. So this is the 2nd time that Jax Duval has been in that, right on the edge of getting his lead lap back. So he's going to battle very, very hard. You can see Porter fading a little bit as the 84 continues to move forward. And now Lynott will be battling with Porter behind them. Speaking of battling, back up front, it is still the Eric Gambrell show, as Gambrell battling with Evan Stewart, slowly coming up on the lap traffic. Looks like Justin Malarkey still has a little bit of damage on that car, and that would be the next guy that they catch. But I think that camera work you had before was really good too. Mandela, Brenner, Smorl, those three guys all hooked up together.
Yeah, that was a pass that Mandela made on Brenner for 6th. So he's moving his way forward. The battle for that lucky dog is still heating up here, as now Lynott is trying to get around Porter. There goes Voltus around the outside on Freshies, trying to make up as much time as he can. So that may have hindered Lynott there for a second. Now I got a battle for 4th. Everything's going on out here, Mean Gene. There goes Medina around Sara for 4th. So Medina's climb back to the front is still happening. Looks like I said, you know, when he was battled in, you know, back there in 7th, he was 2.5 seconds back. He's now up to 4th, and he's almost 2 seconds back, right around that. So he's made up about half a second in 3 spots. But the next 3 passes, I think, are going to be the most difficult for him. Modric has a lot of speed today. Evan Stewart has led the most laps, I believe, today. And then Gambrel, of course, taking over the lead here late.
And we knew Eric could do something with it. Remember, he started back in 18th spot. So it just took the 2 fuel cycles and that caution to finally allow the 46 to take over the lead spot. Right now, he's got his eyes on the 13th position car of Justin Malarkey. Malarkey did have damage to that number 73 Ford and is going to finally fall victim, as Gambrel will make it so there's only 12 cars on the lead lap. Malarkey now would be the lucky dog. And if you're Jax Duval, you got to be having deja vu all over again, as he's about 6 seconds back of Malarkey, no longer lucky dog candidate.
Yeah, so now Malarkey takes it over, and Owens isn't too far ahead here either. You can see him right there in the picture, actually, for a second there. He's pretty much going down the middle of the backstretch right now, as there goes Gambrel now. So Owens only a few seconds away from getting lapped.
Yeah, Owens, of course, had that tremendous spin and contact with Malarkey and the outside wall, so you know that 8 is not healthy, as Owens doing his best to stay on the lead lap. 12 cars on the lead lap. David Owens is the last one. Look at that gap Gambrel has created over Evan Stewart. Who would have thunk it? As we see Gambrel now trying to put his mark on Iowa. Stewart not really pulling away from Modric either. They're keeping very tight to one another. And then David Medina less than a second behind those 2 guys as well. So this thing is tightening up. Here's some fun. That looks like Joe Volpus trying to get one of his laps back. He's zipping around Modric on newer tires. Evan Stewart would be next for Volpus. And how much tires are you trying to save if you're the 98? Are you just riding it as hard as you can because you need a caution anyway?
Yeah, it seemed like he had really good long run pace, so I don't really think there's anything you can do to try and save him too much. And you can see here comes Evan Stewart now. This is exactly why he was running as hard as he did. Because here comes Gambrel as well, and Medina. So he wanted to be able to get back to at least 1 lap down to be in the worst case scenario of a wave around, which now he'll be in pretty good shape. As here come the leaders down pit road. We'll see what they do. 4 tires or 2 tires. We saw 2 tires win the race for Evan Stewart at Phoenix a few weeks ago, so we'll see if somebody does something different here. Gambrel 2 tires right there. See what Evan Stewart does.
Modric now coming down after leading a lap. Going to turn it over to Sara. Michael Sara going to lead a lap, getting those bonus points as well.
Evan Stewart also went with 2 tires. It looks like behind him, David Medina went with 4, so he's going to be on the 4 tire strat with the 34 and the 46 on 2. Here comes, like you said, Modric's down pit road. I'm watching Smorl's time. He took 4 tires. Jaden Porter took 4 tires. The 71 of Modric's taken 4. So Sara's now your new leader here with 40 laps left, 35 actually left in the race.
So, and here comes Sara now. So how do we feel about this? I mean, if I'm in this position, depending on my tire wear, I think 2 might be the call just for track position.
Yeah, so if we go back to where Gambrel and Evan Stewart are, 23:04, 22:95. So it looks like they could still run those really fast lap times. Actually, they were faster that last time around than Medina was. Medina ran a 23:22, so they were 2/10 faster than him. So 2 tires might actually be the call. Looks like Sara's taken 4 as well. So everybody else taken 4 except for the 46 and the 34 to this point. Looks like Mandela's fading down for the pits here.
Look at this, 3 wide, Evan Stewart with Todd Dunn and Jake Johnson. They're finally making through there. Lots of different situations here. Some on old tires, some on 4 freshies, some on 2 fresh, 2 old. Always an exciting moment when the pit cycle occurs to see closing speed and exit speed.
Yeah, that's right. And it's always cool to see just how this whole pit strategy works out. Brenner takes over the lead. He's going to pit this time around. And it looks like Jose Medina going to follow him in. Remember, Jose had trouble last time pitting. This time, a lot cleaner this go around. Jerry Rose also going to follow them down here. So that's only going to leave a few guys left out on the track. Jake Johnson, your leader. David Owens hasn't pit yet. Duval, Malarkey, and Lanat are all the guys that are looking to get a pit stop in here still.
Lots of racing to go here today as we are wrapping up what should be the final pit stop for these drivers, giving them enough fuel to make it to the end. Tires, interesting as we're seeing 2 and 4 tire strategies being taken. We'll just have to find out what is more important, fresh left sides or track position. And we're going to have enough people doing those different things to give us that information. We're on lap number 142, scheduled for 107. 29 laps remaining here as Jake Johnson continues to be your leader. Florida Man Racing still needs to pit. But you know what? You get that camera time, Joe. You get that camera time.
Yeah, and you know what, though? We're always talking about the way the strategy is playing out in your effective race leader. Effective race leader Gambrel right now is still the fastest car on the track. Until this last time around there, Smorrell just went faster. But Gambrel pretty much the fastest car on the racetrack here on the 2 tire strats. Everybody that's just pitted now is going to go a little bit faster than him, of course, because they're on brand new tires here. So Mandela that last time just ran a personal best. But compared to the guys around him, Evan Stewart is slower. But most importantly, Medina, look at him. He's mired in this traffic, so he's not able to really show off any more speed than he's able to here. So stuck in traffic and lost a lot of time taking 4 versus 2. I think Medina might regret taking 4.
Still waiting for the pit cycle to come around for a couple of guys, but 7, 8 cars on the lead lap as we're looking at it right now here on lap number 145. As Joe said, Jake Johnson being shown as your leader, but him and the 3rd place car of David Owens need to come into the pits, as does the 6th place car of Jax Duval. So we're waiting to see. Looks like Florida Man Racing with 2 of their drivers really throwing the Hail Mary, hoping for a late caution here to allow them to take fuel.
Whee!
Okay, that was exciting.
Well, that could have changed the whole complexion of the race right there.
Yeah. But Todd Dunn avoiding disaster and keeps that number 72 on the straight and narrow. That Ford having a pretty good day. Jake Johnson pushing it as far as you can. Last pit was on number 95, so at 147 he has put in math, but he's put in right at the limit of what you would expect. Wondering about that front right tire on the 32. He's run some really fast laps early on in this stage, so I'm really curious exactly how much longer he can hold on. You already see that car pushing up the track just a little bit more every time.
Yeah, he needs that caution to come out right now for this to play in his favor, because then everybody else should come down and pit at this point for more, at least right side tires. Gambrel's down to a 23.48, it looks like that last time. So everybody already fallen off of ideal lap times, or the fast lap times that they can run. So caution right now with Jake Johnson's in the catbird seat.
Yeah, Jake really playing it out. Jake was one of the drivers we highlighted at the beginning. Him and Sarah both for having great seasons, trying to make that move from best of the rest champion contender into playoff driver. And we continue to see exactly why by this great run here by the number 32. Needing that caution, throwing the Hail Mary, but this is what you have to do. It's a very difficult prospect to beat an Evan Stewart or beat David Medina straight up on speed or long run. So sometimes you need to have a little trick in your bag.
Here we go this time.
Jake Johnson. So you gotta give him
whoa. Okay, he's good.
Easy.
He's good.
He got it.
Okay.
But you got to give him credit. You got to give him kudos there for making that play.
Yeah, I'd expect to see David Owens here momentarily as well. So he's going to turn the lead back over to the 46. And now Jerry Rose unlaps himself at the exact same time. So now this puts Jerry as the last car in the lead lap, currently 15th. We'll wait and see where it's going to be running. We still got some pitters here. Jake Johnson, saw Jax Duvall on pit road. We got to wait for David Owens still to pit as well. So some pit strategy still to happen here.
Isn't that surprising? Rose is only on 6-lap fresher tires.
Yeah,
to see him get around.
That just shows you how big of a difference they are. Here comes Lynott down the pits there. I just saw him in the pits as well. Oh! Uh-oh.
What is that? What is that?
Lynott with trouble. He's going to get it down.
Don't you hit those barrels. Here, those barrels didn't do anything to you. Those barrels have had a rough day.
He gets it down into the pits here, but he's going to lose at least a lap, maybe 2 out of that.
It's rough. He was on the edge, too. He was one of the guys battling for Lucky Dog contention, along with Duvall and Jaden Porter.
Battle for 11.
Now,
Justin
though, looks
Malarkey
like
with damage is going to get passed by Jerry Rose.
Yeah, that's it. Justin, remember, he was caught up in that David Owens slide, and that just kind of put him a little bit behind. Gambrell's so close to this group. Last lap, Gambrell ran a 2:3.97, which is one of the slower laps of the lead lap guys. So 2 tires, not giving you the speed that you want, but it definitely gave you the track position. Only 11 guys on the lead lap. And remember, David Owens last pit on 97. Owens currently being shown in 5th place, but only a matter of time till that number 8 is going to need to bring her down.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost a spot to Brenner on the relative. If we go over to him, he's... Oh, no!
Don't do it!
Oh! Uh-oh.
Back it up. Do it. Just back it up.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness gracious.
No one will notice. No one will notice. No one sees. It's fine. Fine.
Wow. Well,
no one saw a thing.
No caution for that, so that's the way that went.
And more importantly, he didn't get booted. I've seen people get booted for going backwards, right?
Pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah, for
But he was below the apron, and I mean, let's be real about it. There was no threat to anybody in what he just did. If iRacing would have done something ridiculous, to him, you'd have had to wonder why. There was nothing to be gained. There's Kyle Lynott. Remember, Lynott had the wild ride earlier. Oh, he's wiggling.
Oh, boy. Oh!
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Caution. Oh!
Oh, Jake.
All right, well.
Holy.
Well, that changes everything, Mean Gene. And you know what time it is.
So you know what that means, boys and girls. You can count it off because it is about to go down. All right, for our second caution of the day, the Demolition Derby continues with a little wiggle there by Kyle Lynott on lap number 160. Oh, my word. That's going to tighten us up, and now everybody's thinking about tire strategies. Do I want 2? Those guys that just took 2 Now they're wondering, oh no, I got to come and get those left sides changed. Here comes Gambrel and Stewart quickly making the call. Here comes Chris Smith. Lots of those front runners coming in. So with this many laps, I mean, it's only 10 laps left. But Joe, we saw those lap times almost a second off. You don't want to be a second slower than your competitors for 10 laps.
Yeah, you're not going to have any sort of hope in that kind of situation. Everybody's still got tires left here to put on too, so no shortage of tires here. So everybody should be an obvious 4-tire call here, I would imagine.
All right, I got that ready.
Up and down pit road. We'll go over to Johnny here in a second. 2 tires again for Evan Stewart. No left sides. He's going to take 2 and take the race lead here, Mean Gene. So Eric Gambrel going to come out in second, and then everybody else looks like it's taking 4. Let's go over to Johnny.
Tell me what you guys see. He's in 5th, 4th.
I see netting.
And then he's in 3rd. He doesn't get any contact.
No, but you can see the rear end of the car comes around. He had the exit speed, and he just jammed. I think he stabbed the brakes to not make contact with Stewart. Like he had no choice. I mean, he could have run him over, but he chose not to.
Maybe you forgot what Gary was in at the same time?
Because as soon as he goes into 3rd, that's when he starts shaking.
Yeah, that's when it really starts to.
He went. Yeah, I bet he forgot what Gary was. I've done that.
Yeah, because right here he's. Yeah, and then he shifts at the same time he hits the brake pedal. Very interesting.
Yep.
Jake Johnson almost absolutely obliterated him here. Good job by Kyle not to come up the track any more than he did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he knew where to go.
Even bad. All right, I think we're about ready to go green, so I'm going to give you a very abbreviated rundown of what's going on here. So, 2 tires for Evan Stewart, Gambrel, Medina, Modric, Brenner, Smorl, Mandela, Jose Medina, Jerry Rose, Sara, all on 4 tires. I think Sara had some damage to get fixed, so his pit stop was a little longer. Volpus is going to be the lucky dog here. He took 4 tires. Malarkey, Jake Johnson, Buell, and Duval all take the wave around here, it looks like, to get back onto the lead lap. Jaden Porter's now the first car a lap down in 16th. We're about ready to go green. I'm out of breath.
Eric Gambrel on that front row, ready to do battle with the 34 of Evan Stewart, but look behind him, Modric and David Medina, the other 4. So these are your 4 fastest drivers. Away we go. Stewart with a great start. Going to bring David Medina with him. David Medina going to take over the 2nd place position. Eric Gambrel falls into 3rd behind him. Rick Modric. There's Gambrel looking below Medina. Medina pinching him, denying Gambrel exit speed. Now Gambrel gets on the throttle and is going to take over 2nd. David Medina on the outside, now battling. Modric on the apron. David Brenner on the apron below him. The 9. He's going to, contact. Oh, the 9 is around. The 9 is around.
Oh, and look at what's going on. Oh.
He just got stuck on the outside for 2 laps.
Man,
that was brutal. But you know what that means? The Demolition Derby is in full effect as now we see back-to-back cautions. And David Medina gets spun around. He was stuck on the outside for a couple of laps and just could not get back down. And eventually, round she goes. Oh, what do you got for me, Johnny?
I got it for you. So let me back up a little more. So there's the entrance. The entry. I think he's trying to possibly put the squeeze. Oh, where'd he go? And the 22 of Brenner just comes up. Did not care about the squeeze.
You know what what happened there, Mean Gene?
Yep.
David Brenner said he's not a fan of being pinched.
I said, don't you pinch me. No pinching.
That could have been way worse than what it was, too. Lucky it was only
It was
one
because
car
I mean,
spin.
we were all bunched up.
It's like Michael Sarra came back down to pit again there, Mean Gene. I think he's getting more damage fixed. All the wave rounds pit here as well. David Buell, Jax Duvall, Malarkey getting maybe some more damage fixed here as well. Looks like put on another set of tires. Tommy Fox,
Yeah,
I
you
think,
can see the.
did Tommy get the lucky dog
There was
here?
another casualty there.
Oh, another casualty.
Oh no.
Look at the 51, and then Ben Knights just comes in, drives
Oh.
right through him.
They're teammates. What's happening? You know what it is? He said you didn't have the right paint job, so I'm gonna give you a little whack.
Oh dear.
That's a Joe Volpus. That's a Joe Volpus penalty for
Yeah.
wrong paint job. Of course, we talked to Volpus's camp though, and he said that he ain't seen that money, so it's not his fault. No receipt, no money, no paint. That's what they say. No loving until you get the ring. Up front, Evan Stewart. He is still your leader. Eric Gambrell behind him, Modric, and now Chris Smorrell moving his way up into fourth place. Smorrell up 20 spots. So that is your biggest mover. Keep an eye on that number 5. David Brenner going to take over the 5th spot. Ricky Mandela in 6. He's been up in the top 5 all day long. Jose Medina 7th. Joe Volpus 8th. I'm sorry, Jerry Rose 8th. Joe Volpus 9. Jake Johnson in 10th. Behind them, David Medina is going to fall into the 11th spot. Medina just got spun, bringing out this caution. Then you can see David Buell, Jax Duvall, Michael Sarra, Justin Malarkey, and Jaden Porter all on the lead lap. 16 cars on the lead lap, and this would be a natural green-white caution, right?
Yeah, this is going to be a natural green-white checkered here. 2 to go here at the line.
Look, here we go. Look how tight they are up front. Stewart, Gambrell, inches away into the restart zone. Away we go. Great start there by Evan Stewart. Going to get a 2, 3, 4 car lead. Modric and Gambrell side by side behind them. Smorrell and Brenner. We are bringing it in
Oh,
deep.
you're spinning.
Look at,
Whoa.
oh, they're spinning in the back.
Oh,
David Medina again gets victimized. Oh, no, boys and girls. This is not what we expected after seeing last week. And there it is. I hit the wrong button, but it was apropos right there for David Medina Sr. The demolition derby continues. Tim Darby might not be here, but the cautions are. As we see David Medina Sr. again, back-to-back participants in the caution. That's going to bring up the first green-white checker attempt. But, wow, what? I have no idea what happened there. I missed it. You got that one, Johnny? I told you to warm up them fingers, man.
Gotta get my, what is it, carpal tunnels?
Yeah.
All right, I got it ready. All right, so there's the 9. Jack Duvall comes up,
hey.
hits him in the quarter panel. And then,
Oh, and then
72,
David
73,
Buell.
52, 27.
Owens turns Sarra. Oh, Duvall gets a hit by Dunn. Jaden Porter's in the wall. Wow, that was brutal. That was a brutal right there. Both those drivers trying to fight for the. Looks like they're just trying to fight for the same piece of real estate, right?
Hey.
Okay, never mind. Wow. He came in hotter in a Georgia summer night. Oof, exactly. You can hear Smoking Joe over there. Oof.
right. Well, now we're using our first of our 3 green-white checkers here, Mean Gene.
Yes, we are. Let's look. Some crazy names up front considering where they started. Evan Stewart still is your control car. Eric Gambrell, who's been running amazing here today, threatening the win. Very good long run and short run speed. Let's see what Gambrell's got for Stewart on this restart. Gambrell up 16 spots into the second place position. Behind him, Rick Modric, who has run well all day long, led laps. Then you can see Chris Smorrell, biggest mover of the day. He's up 20 spots into the fourth place position. So you can't, you got to be eyeballing all top 4 cars. Behind them, you got David Brenner in 5th. Brenner's been very consistent, but I haven't seen the speed out of him that I would think it would take to pass 4 guys in front of him. 6th place, Jerry Rose. I don't think he's going to move up. Ricky Mandela in 7th. That is a guy that has the ability to get around you. And then Jose Medina in 8th. So that 4th row, very exciting to me, as is the 1st and 2nd row. Very curious to see how this green-white checkered's going to go. That 4th row is going to be coming forward real fast. That 3rd row, they better buckle in.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out here. Eric Gambrell really needs to find something, though, here on this restart. Got beat badly on the first 2 by Evan Stewart. The first time he got passed by Medina, had to pass him back. That time was able to stay in front of Modric on the inside, but lost any ability, I think, to have a chance to fight Stewart, so he needs to find something here on this one.
Yeah, Eric Gambrell, he's already gotten the lucky cautions to get it re-racked. This is it. Side by side. Oh, and once again, Stewart. Oh, no, he's around. Gambrell's around. He spun the tires down under the apron. I don't see a caution. Stewart with a big lead. Chris Smorrell 2nd. Rose and Modric side by side for 3rd. Rose on the outside gets the exit speed. Goes into the rolling 3rd. Takes over 3rd. Modric behind them. Medina and David Brenner battling side by side. Joe Volpus up as well. Here we go, though. Evan Stewart bringing it down around turn number 4. He's got the speed. He's got the lead. And Evan Stewart now with the throttle down in turn number 3. Little run by Smorrell. Don't think he's got anything for him. Joe, we've got a 2-time winner. Evan Stewart takes the win here at Iowa.
We also had some guys spin across the start-finish line further back. Pretty wild finish right there, but Evan Stewart able to survive everything that happened today and get the win at Iowa.
Long time coming. Think about 2 weeks ago, we're at Vegas. He's got a 7-second lead, and you can see Rose giving him a little bump there. Teammates very happy with a 1st and 3rd. Stewart, though, 2 weeks ago had a 7-second lead, ends up disconnecting. Last week, he's at Darlington. He's running podium, disconnects again. This is a long time coming for Evan Stewart. 2nd win of the season as he brings it across the corny start-finish line. Congratulations to the 34.
Yeah, great.
And he made some new friends today, too.
Yeah, definitely made.
He made some new friends. He made little. He said, "Hey, my bumper is a good thing." And meanwhile, Duval doing a Polish victory lap the wrong way down in the pits. That's cool.
I'll take I don't know what he's doing. I guess
he's having a good one.
Finishing 8th is a pretty good accomplishment for him. The way his day was looking at one point, right? So something to be happy about for him.
All right, let's take it to the big board and see how we finished here today. Winner, of course, is gonna be Evan Stewart. Congratulations, Evan Stewart's 2nd win on the year. Wins today here at the Suicide Awareness and Prevention 170. Chris Smorrell gonna finish in 2nd. Great run there by the Folcom driver. Jerry Rose gonna finish in 3rd. Believe that is his first podium in Bonfire in 3 seasons. Good for him. Rick Modric going to finish in 4th, and David Brenner rounding out your top 5. Jose Medina brings it home in 6th. Joe Volpis, what a roller coaster for the 98. Going to finish in 7th. Jax Duvall, 8th. Jake Johnson, 9th. Ricky Mandela caught up in that shenanigans at the end. 10th. David Medina became a punching bag the last few laps. 11th. Jaden Porter, 12. Michael Sara also caught up in one of the late races on the restart. 13. Justin Malarkey, 14. David Buell, David Owens, and Eric Gambrell from 2nd to last car on the lead lap. 17 cars finishing on the lead lap here today.
Then in 18th, we have Tommy Fox, 1 lap down. Kyle Lynott, 2 laps down in 19th. Ben Knight, same 2 laps. Todd Dunn, 9 laps down, 21st. Chris Smith, 22nd. Paul Ferdiani, 23rd. Nick Mills, 24th. Mark DeMond, 25th. And Derek Jacobs, 26th.
Yeah, Derek Jacobs didn't actually make the start. I got to ask you, Smoking Joe, what do you think? If he does 3 signups and not starts, you think he could convince Brenner to give him a regular number?
No. You got to run at least a lap.
That works.
No, I saw that
what if
debate
he came
earlier.
On just did 2 laps.
I have seen that debate earlier this season. You got to start the race in order to get credit.
I see. So there it is. Now this is the halfway point. So this is not too soon to be taking a look at these playoff pictures. Now remember, of course, this is a win and you're in situation. Up top, you can see we now have a new points leader as Joe Volpis moves ahead of Nick Mills. Rough day for the 20, and he is 16 points behind Joe. Joe Volpis 1, Nick Mills 2. Evan Stewart bumps up 2 spots into 3rd. Evan does have the 2 wins, but not quite the top 5s that someone like a Joe Volpis has. Jax Duvall. How about consistency? Duvall, 3 top 10s, no wins, but still in 4th place, dropping a spot with the ascent of Stewart. David Medina Sr., going to drop a couple of spots. Rough day for him there at the end, as everybody in front of him had a great day. Jose Medina moves up 1 into 6th. So the 54 trying to pick up the slack of the loss of Landry and Jared Kelly off the Plus EV Racing team. Good day for Jose and his team. Jake Johnson moving up a couple into 7th, where he is tied with Michael Sara. David Owens going to have a slight drop. Finds himself tied with Jerry Rose for 9th. Jerry moving up 3 with his 3rd top 10 and 2nd top 5 of the season. Richard Modric going to be in 11th, and Ricky Mandela Sr. going to round out the top 12 as far as playoff picture goes. And there's a tiny gap, but you can see behind them, especially only 6 races into the season, you cannot count out the likes of a David Buell, David Brenner. This guy makes the playoffs almost every year, as does Malarkey. Gambrell, 1 less start than the others, but very close to the position. Todd Dunn in the playoff picture, as well as Kyle Lynott. So lots of activities still going on. But at this point, well, I tell you what, Joe, Johnson, Sara, and Rose, those are 3 dudes that have really had a good beginning of the year compared to previous seasons. You got to feel good for those 3 guys.
Yeah, we've been talking about how impressive Michael Sara has been here week in and week out as of late. Jake Johnson having the same kind of success here at the start of the season, and Jerry Rose here having a couple top 5 runs here, Iowa, Vegas here as of late as well. So all 3 of them showing some great pace. However, I wouldn't get too comfortable with where they are in the points, especially with fast guys like Modric, Mandela right there, Buell as well. And then, of course, you got the guys, remember, with the winning in, they could just win and leapfrog their way up in there. You know, David Brenner won 2 races last season. Malarkey has multiple Bonfire Cup wins. Very, very good when it comes to the series. So he can go out there and win one of these bad boys. You know,
Gambrell's been
Gambrell
close.
was in position to win the race until the late race caution today, so he could win. We've seen Lynott win races over the course of all the
Yep.
seasons as well. Tommy Fox showed some really good speed today. If he can have a good clean run, he might have a chance to win something. And
Bennett has a truck win.
Bennett has a truck win. Looking down there, Ferdiani always runs up front at
Yep.
super
He's got a
speedways.
truck win.
He's he's very good at some of these tracks as well. And if Smorl can hit the start count that he needs, we've seen him win too. So
Yep.
I wouldn't say anybody like they might be really good in the points right now, but
Duval. I feel good about Duval as far as no win and points.
Yeah,
I feel good about that one.
Yeah. Right now, at this point in the season, I want to have a win, just so I feel better about myself.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff right now. So we're seeing the development of the league, drivers that came in running in the back, slowly move into the front. We see the big names that we're accustomed to right on the door, knocking as well, giving us some great racing. Lots of long green flag runs here today. Also, got the shootout at the end that always gets the fans up on their feet. You got to love what you saw here today. Big shout out to Kyle Lynott, double duty sponsorship. The name sponsor for the Suicide Awareness and Prevention 170. Thank you, Kyle, for bringing awareness to this health issue. And also, he sponsors our poll award as well, the 988 poll award. So remember, if you or a friend finds yourself in need, help is out there. You can text or call 988. Remember, you are loved and you are heard. Also, thank you to Tim Darby for his sponsorship of the cautions. We needed him at the end there. I think Johnny and Mr. Darby, maybe you two guys could get some kind of joined deal, get you some commercials together.
Get me a little picture of me on the blimp. That's where I was all race.
Yeah, with a big smiley face. That is going to wrap us up from Iowa. Final thoughts before we head out here today. What do you got for me, Johnny?
I'm surprised you didn't make as many corn jokes as last season.
Look, man, you can only eat corn so many ways, and one of them's not long ways. Okay, I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, I hate this track, and it amazed me that we went so long without a caution. Like I practiced this track before the update, put in so many hours. I felt like I was good, and once this update came out, I just threw everything away, pretty much. But I'm excited for next week for my hometown track. That's not there no more.
Oh, Kevin Kyle just delivered some concrete out there, so they're doing something.
Saw Amazon smiles on the side of those concrete boxes, but yeah.
Oh no, don't say that. Man, Joe, look at this. Between 7th place.
Yeah, you're looking at that points battle, aren't you?
4 points.
Yeah. A lot of
4
ties
points
in there
between
too.
7 and 12. Yeah, and 2 ties.
Yeah.
These guys just can't figure it out.
Yeah, so talking about Auto Club next week, the guy that won the race there last time was David Owens. Came down to a really close battle in the playoff race, if I'm not mistaken, between him and Vulpes down the stretch. Owens looking for that win that would lock him into the playoffs. Remember last season, I think Owens ended up winning the race to get himself a playoff spot because he couldn't get up there into that top 12, missing too many races last season. So I think he's looking for that win repeat at Auto Club to lock his spot this time around once again.
I would not put it past the 8 to come out and lay waste to the field. I am, though, curious to see what David Medina is going to be doing. He can't be happy with the way today went. Not the kind of guy that's going to respond against an individual. He's the kind of guy that's going to respond by putting in even more time and making sure that he knows all the lines, how to get the clean pass, how to get to the clean air. And so, David Medina's going to come back even better next week after today's poor result. And then the usual suspects. You got your point leader, Joe Vulpes. You got Nick Mills with 2 wins, Evan Stewart with 2 wins, and all the drivers that we just listed that are hunting for that win and you're in situation. Next week, gonna have to join. It's gonna be super exciting as the boys will be doing battle next week at Auto Club. Now, how do you make sure you stay abreast of all of the action here on the Vortex Racing Network? Make sure you are subscribed. I know you are, but it's time to tell your friends about the worst kept secret in all of YouTube. Vortex Racing Network coming at you 4 nights a week. Soon to be 5 once we pick up that Thursday Quantum Contender Series right around the corner. But here it is, Monday nights, we do the doubleheader. Alex Hillman bringing you all the action from the DDI ARCA Series. That is a live broadcast, followed up by the Monday Night Mayhem right here following that. So nice live doubleheader. Tuesdays, you get the Dennis Puckett Big Truckin' Tuesday Series as their playoffs have officially begun. You're going to want to see the round of 12 elimination race going to be broadcast on Tuesday. So join us for that great event. Wednesday, the All-Star League, the MRL DDI Moonlight Truck Series. All-Stars from all 3 levels coming against each other there for a heck of a show. Quantum Contender coming around the corner. Kevin Kyle bringing you all the action. They are still recruiting if you'd love to be in a next-gen car here on the Vortex Racing Network with a great series with amazing admins. Contact Cody Dorsey or Kevin Kyle. They can get you in touch and on the track there for the Thursdays. And you just watched the Sunday Premier Cup here on the Vortex Racing Network. Congratulations to Evan Stewart picking up that 2nd win of the year. Great job by him. Can't wait. Join us tomorrow night for some double action here on the Vortex Racing Network. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, my 2 partners, Smokin' Joe and Johnny Replay, it's been a pleasure. Thank you to all the admins. Thank you to our sponsors. And thank you to you viewers at home who make it happen. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go watch that NASCAR race. Make sure you put your lineup in the fantasy. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.